There is no greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. John 15:13. No greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. When we think of Jesus as the Good Shepherd, Jesus who laid down his life for our sake, we often think of the church and the shepherds, the pastors, the bishops, the popes. But today I would like to suggest that being a shepherd or a sheep is most often exercised in our relationships, perhaps in our marriages, in our friendships, in our neighbor relationships as well. You know, we are in a full swing of the wedding season. If you open the bulletin, there are weddings all the time happening here. Today I have 2 weddings. And every time I officiate at a wedding, I'm thinking to themselves, they know not what they are doing. They have no idea what they are stepping into. A lot of times, one of the parties is clearly out of the league of the groom or the bride. You look at the pictures and think, she's perfectly pretty, and he is far from perfection. Or vice versa, the guy is like a model, and she's just no average. And you think to yourself, I think to myself, how did he get her to marry him? Or how did she get him to marry her? No, they were not blind. They were just crazy in love. And the word crazy is important. Even though one of the wedding party can be out of league for the other person, it's always amazing to see that they are willing to do such a crazy thing. They are willing to make such a serious lifelong commitment. My first job when I meet with a couple for the first time is to discourage them. So I always ask at the first meeting, what can I do or say to change your mind? And I try my best. So far I have only succeeded once in discouraging them from getting married. I try to explain to them that marriage is all about laying down your life for the sake of your spouse. That there will be wonderful, uplifting moments, walking on the beach, sunset, yara, yara, yara. But 99% there will be dirty socks on the floor and other unpleasant memories to make with your spouse. And yet, people keep doing that for some strange reason beyond my understanding. There is no greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. When you decide to be with someone, when you decide to be someone's wife, someone's husband, you place your life at the feet of this person. You lay down your life for your friend. And there is no greater love than this. John 15:13. In the friendship relationships, this laying down your life also takes place. I don't think of myself as a shepherd many times, but I know that for you, my friends, I would be happy to do many things. And you as the church have proven to me that you would do a lot for me too. In 2010, Bishop Herman, I believe, in the last attempt to get us into his grasp, offered a compromise solution to St. Stanislaus. Some of you may remember. He said, I will let you keep your property, I will let you keep your board of directors, well, I will approve them, but you can keep them, as soon as you kick out Father Bożek. I thought it was a very tempting proposition, I have to say. You would keep your property, theoretically. You would keep your board, perhaps. The only price to pay was my behind. And there was a big vote, and overwhelming majority said, no, thank you. That's when I realized that you are willing to lay down your life for my sake as well. And I am extremely grateful for your dedication and friendship. And I want you to know that you have my dedication and friendship in return. In our relationships, may it be with your husband, with your friend, with your priest, sometimes we are the sheep, sometimes we are the shepherds. There is no relationship in which you are always the sheep or in which you are always the shepherd. Sometimes I will act as your shepherd. Many other times I will act as one of you, the sheep. With your husband, sometimes you will be the shepherd, or sometimes you will let him think that he is the one. No matter what character you play in this flag drama, what is important is that you are willing to lay down your life for your friend's sake. May it be a church community, may it be your relationship with your spouse, with your friends, with your parents, with your children. What makes our relationships holy and special is our willingness to lay down our lives for the sake of those whom we love. This is the difference between a good shepherd, says Jesus, and a hired guy. This is a difference between owning a car and renting one. How many times do you go to a car wash with a rented car? But I know from my own experience that I polish my black baby at least twice a month. And I'm talking about my car, of course. Look at this church, that we have owned this church for 120 some years. And when people stop by, they say, wow, it's so well taken care of. It looks as if it was built yesterday. What's the difference? We are not hired parishioners. We own this church and it's ours. We try to be good stewards of this church. We try to be good shepherds of this church. And we have indeed laid down our lives for the sake of the church that we love. Think of all your relationships today. Think of the situations that you have been the shepherd or perhaps a sheep. And be grateful that you have people who are your shepherds. Be grateful that you have people who are your sister and brother sheep. Be grateful that someone loves you crazy enough to lay down his or her life for you. Of course, sometimes there'll be a price to pay. I got excommunicated. Sometimes in your relationship with your husband or wife, you will pretend to like shopping. You will pretend to enjoy other things that you have no interest in whatsoever. Sometimes it will mean that you will stay up all night long because someone you love is sick. There is a price to pay for being good shepherd. But who said that? It is better to burn fast and bright and slow and dull without a fight.